Hey, this is Scott with Wet Edge, and I'd like to welcome you back to our how-to video series on how to pick the pool finish that's right for you. At Wet Edge, we really do believe that your pool finish is an important choice and one of the more important materials in your pool project. It's what you see the most, it's what you use. I mean, outside your deck, it's what you use the most. It just ties everything together. It's the frosting on the cake, that ribbon on the present. It just gives the finishing touch to the project. And we know that you make a lot of choices, and we just really want to hope to help you and inform you as much as we can so you can make a good choice and an informed choice. And today we're going to be looking at Pebble Finishes. Now, Pebble Finishes have three main components typically. That is white cement, and then some color of pebble, and the pebble comes in typically from most manufacturers in two different sizes. For instance, at Wet Edge we call our larger pebble the pearl, and the smaller pebble the satin. National Pool Tile has one called Stonescapes, and they call their large pebble regular and their small pebble mini. Pebble Tech calls their large pebble Pebble Tech and their small pebble Pebble Sheen. So you have many variations of the same theme available to you. And then typically, or more often than not, they're also adding a pigment to the cement to change the background color to hopefully achieve some watercolor that's going to be pleasing to you. One of the major benefits of Pebble, it's widely perceived and believed to be the finish that has the fewest cosmetic issues because, as you may have heard in other videos, cement is the bad guy in a lot of finishes. It's what models, it's what shrieks, it's what swirls. And with Pebble, you don't have that issue as much because, if you'll notice, and we'll compare it to a quartz finish product, you'll notice that with the pebble sample, there's less cement at the surface because in the installation process, they literally remove that top layer, exposing the pebble. And the pebble aggregate, as you can see, is larger than the quartz aggregate found in quartz finishes. So less cement at the surface. Typically, you tend to have less issues, less cosmetic issues. And also, because you have less cement at the surface, there's less cement to be broken down. And so the surface Pebble Finishes also tend to be the longest lasting finishes available to you on the market. And when I think about it, the only real objections to Pebble was one, the texture, which I personally, I don't mind. I think it actually feels pretty good. And secondly, the other main objection to is the cost, and that's largely due to the materials used, and the installation process tends to be more expensive than other finishes like quartz or plaster. So it really does come down to the question of, do the benefits of Pebble outweigh the cost or justify the cost? And so that's something you'll have to wrestle with as a consumer. Another nice thing about Pebble, it's very versatile. You can really do a lot of neat things to jazz it up. For instance, you can add color quartz to it, as you can see here. And I can show you an example of that. Like in this finish, you see the pebble, and then you see those flecks of blue or red and green. That's color quartz. That's just another way just to get a little eye candy, just to break up the finish, so to speak. And lately, just from the last year or two, the advent of glass bead is becoming more and more popular. And so you can actually take a pebble finish and add glass bead to it. And the nice thing about the glass bead is that it can help improve the overall texture, because obviously glass bead is round, there's no sharp edges on it. And so that's also a very nice touch. And you can control the percentage of glass that you put in there. So if you don't want to pay that much for glass, but you want in there, you just put a little bit. The more glass, you're going to pay a little more. So, but you have that flexibility and freedom to do that when adding glass bead as an accent to Pebble. So once again, there you have it. That is Pebble Finishes, and I hope that you found this little video a little helpful and informative. I know I threw a lot of information at you. And so once again, I just thank you from all of us at Wet Edge, your pool finish resource.